And we're back again for the Kyle Brown podcast, a really special edition, because I'm with my guy, my brother, Kenny Brown, and we at Frank Ballou High School in the heart of Southeast DC. My guy, Kenny Brown, is the head football coach here and the college career coordinator, and doing a phenomenal thing here in Southeast DC. So super excited to have you, my guy.
Man, it's been a long time coming. I've been looking forward to being on the Kyle Brown podcast. I've been loving what you've been doing, brother.
Absolutely, man. You know, this was one we had to get done. It was only right that we get you on the podcast, but it's only right that I've been inspired to do all the things you've done. You had the Super Bowl Goals podcast, about a few years ago, couple years ago?
About 2018, probably.
Yeah, 2018,
something like
2019. You had the Super Bowl Goals podcast. You've always been a prolific speaker, a prolific leader. We former teammates. We're line brothers. We Rams. We've got a lot of things in common, but super excited to be able to have you on the podcast just to talk about your journey as the head football coach, one of the youngest head football coaches in the area of DC, correct? Right?
When I got hired, they tell me I was the youngest to ever get hired.
Yeah.
The youngest coach to ever get hired, but, shout out my man Ryan. He got hired a year after me, a year younger, so.
Yeah.
He the youngest right now.
Where's Ryan at? That's
McKinley Tech. Shout out McKinley
right?
Tech. Yeah, shout out
McKinley Tech. Got it. Yeah, but we're here at Ballou. Ballou is beautiful. When you pull up on campus, it's a beautiful campus. I mean, I'm a Kinston High School guy in Kinston, North Carolina, but I'll say we can't even compete with the facilities that we got here. You've been the head coach now for 2 years?
Yeah, man, it's going on my third year.
Yeah, going on
third year. Yeah,
going on third year. Yeah. You've played sports your whole life. You've been in leadership roles your whole life, but now you're at a point where you can be a leader of men. You got a squad here at Ballou. I've been able to catch a couple of practices, a couple of games, and just really be able to check out you and your element. So it's really good to be able to sit down and just talk about how you even transition to this phase as a coach, because coaching, I think, is one of the more important things in life. I had a previous podcast where I talked about how people who really make an impact in your life is your teachers and your coach. You can have a few other mentors along the way, but those people like your teachers and your coaches are the people you remember. They drill in a lot of the values that you carry out throughout your life, and they also make sure that you are actively held accountable on a day-to-day basis. So now you're in that position to be a coach at the head coaching level, which is another level. You've coached as an assistant, you coached even at the JV level, but now you're at the varsity level. And for all guys, 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, they take varsity sports serious, and you're at the helm of that. So, man, I love to just have you talk to me about what it's like stepping into that role as head coach at a beautiful school, beautiful campus, and really being that leader of men in the heart of Southeast.
Yeah, man. I honestly wouldn't have picked any other school. When you walk around here, I showed you and Tia before the podcast, showed you all the school, showed you all the courtyard. Pretty soon we're going to go get a chance to look at the field.
Yeah.
Beautiful field up on the hill.
Yeah.
The wonderful people of Southeast.
Yeah.
Where I come from, right? I grew up on Southern Avenue, which is less than a mile and a half away from Ballou, right?
Yeah.
Less than a mile and a half away from Ballou. But when you say to be a head coach, you play football, I play football, you play basketball, I play basketball, right? Two prominent sports where the head coach is the guy we all look up to be our leader.
Yeah.
That's not something that's ever lost on me, right? To just sit back and look sometimes I just sit back and be like, man, I'm a head football coach, bro.
It's real.
And it's been a surreal feeling.
And we looking out into the field. We're looking into the field. So the cameras, the audience ever wonder what we looking at.
I've been on this field probably over 500 times now. Maybe I'm even probably lowballing it. But I still get excited when I get a chance to look upon the field. But just to be a head coach, dog, when I first got hired, I was excited. Yeah. Because I never wanted to be a coach. You never heard me talk about being not like a head coach. I never had the aspirations.
I thought you maybe wanted to be more AD. We still got
time. Life ain't over yet.
We still got it in the ranks. But yeah,
it wasn't anything. I was like, I'm gonna be a head coach I'm gonna be a head coach one day.
Yeah,
it was something that kind of was thrust upon me. And that's how my life operates. That's how my life works.
Yeah.
There's been so many times where I might not have had the right idea of where I wanted to go, but the higher powers above has a great way of just putting something on me, and I know the mission, right?
Yeah.
So when I got the head coaching job at Ballou, I understood the mission.
Yeah.
I knew the assignment, and the assignment was to ultimately change lives, bro. I often tell my kids, I probably tell them this like 2 to 3 times a week. We can win a championship. We can win 2, 3, 4. It'll be lit, right? Oh, the real win for me is when the kids are my age, right? 29 years old.
Yeah.
So, for my seniors, that's like 11 years from now. Juniors, 12. Sophomores, 13.
Yeah, they really.
It's not that big of an age
yeah.
gap. So when I see you within the next 10 to 15 years, and I see you with your family, or I see you at your work conference, or I'm going to your business, I'm meeting your kids.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you become a coach.
Yeah.
Like, that's the real win for me. Me going to your college graduation.
Yeah.
Like, that's the real win for me, bro. Yeah. And that's where I dedicate the countless hours to these youngins.
Yeah.
That's why I put it all on the line for these youngins, because I was these youngins. So ultimately, I try to be what I felt as if I needed, right? I mean, I come up, my father was incarcerated, so I had my mother, right? And there was a couple good men along the way. But ultimately, it was my mother, right? And I always had older coaches. So me being able to be young and not too far from the mix, I try to give them everything I know that I would want and I would need. And I just try to give them information, everything that comes with it. So, none of that's ever lost to me. When I sit back, I'm like, you know what? I'm a head football coach, bro, for varsity football team. And I just wear that with a badge of honor every day.
Yeah, and it's a big responsibility. I don't care what anyone says. Like, to this day, I hope my basketball coach ain't looking, but my football coach was like one of my most important people in high school, period. Sure. Like one of the closest people I got coolest with, one of the people we felt as though like you putting it all on the line for. He built family camaraderie. He built the brotherhood that really I still carry to this day. I mean, when we think about what sports does for our lives, we do a lot of things like join a fraternity, we get married, we build relationships and things like that. But when you look back on your high school football team, that's probably one of the closest group you'll be closest with, where if it's 30 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to remember those moments that your coach and your team was able to create together. Sure. So now you're going into your 3rd year. What's your like mindset shift now that you've experienced 2 years of coaching and like you see what it's like? Like what have you experienced that you didn't expect that you would have to deal with as a head coach that you now have to deal with now that you are more seasoned, you've took the rookie and sophomore year label off, and now you're going into your 3rd year? What are those things like? I done seen some things now and I know how to prep and prepare for it.
I think the biggest thing I was kind of blindsided by when I became a head coach, I mean, we understand it's football.
Yeah.
You're going to go through the X's and O's of football. You're the leader of children.
Yeah.
Young men that's going to become men. I think the biggest curveball for me that I wasn't ultra prepared for was understanding how much I had to manage adults. Right, that's like a lost art that nobody's ever told me, or no college football, or high school football. Like when we were players, I wasn't able to look through that lens like, the head coach is managing adults as well, right? So, I think when I started becoming it, when I became a head coach the first year, I'm like, I really got to appease these guys.
Yeah, you hearing it from after practice, you hearing it in the stands, you hearing it from all different directions. What have you done to kind of manage that though? Show my coaches, like my assistant coaches, also the attention I show my kids. Like I've really been intentional on building a real bond with my assistants. Yeah. Like we actually hang out. Like I tell them in meetings, like we're real friends. Yeah. I can call them on the weekends. We hang out after practice. We talk on the phone after practice. Like, say during the season, right? Practice would be over like 7:30, 7:45. Might be in that parking lot talking to the coaches till like 9:30, right? Yeah. So they're real friends. I done been to their baby showers. Yeah. I done been to their birthday parties. I done been around their family cookouts.
It's just I've met their families, they met my families, so we became family.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, this guy's my running back coach.
Yeah.
This guy's my DB coach. Nah, this guy is also my brother.
Yeah.
And that's the approach I had to take with my assistants and learning how to be a head coach. But that was kind of the biggest curveball because, I think sometimes, and you can relate to this, when people talk about head football coach, right, ultimately we're the CEO of a company.
Absolutely.
We have an offensive coordinator. We have a defensive
40
coordinator.
40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus company. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We have
more.
players, right?
Yeah.
And it's our job to manage that. But leadership ain't nothing new to me. It ain't nothing new to you.
Yeah.
We've been leaders of people since we've been 17 years old. So I wasn't blindsided by the leadership part. That was just a curveball in it. And I think that is going to help me, again, for the rest of my life. So that was the biggest curveball, knowing how much I had to learn how to help manage and foster the feelings and emotion of adults.
What about parents, though? I know you gave me like managing coaches, like your staff and whatnot, and being able to build that camaraderie with them, rapport with them. What about parents, though? Because you still got to work with them in a lot of ways, too.
For sure. And that's something I had to grow into as well.
Yeah.
When I ever first started coaching, I assisted with a youth organization. So I understood that you had to really deal with parents, right?
Yeah.
On the high school level, I thought it was a little different. Again, we not that far removed from it, but you often think like, dang, like how involved was our parents doing sports? So that's something I had to grow into. Like, all right, cool. Let me make sure I get a parent group chat. Let me make sure I had parent liaisons.
Yeah.
Probably my first year, I was kind of probably like very minimal in talking to parents, and it's not no reason.
Yeah.
It's just because we with the kids.
Yeah, you got to focus on
X amount of hours of the day. It ain't the game. That's the last part. It's just focusing on building up this 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old. I spent so much time doing that.
Yeah.
Like it was a lapse in like, let me make sure their parents good.
Yeah.
So going into year 2, I was really intentional on it. I had a lot of parent meetings. The parents know they can call me whenever. I just, got finished talking to a parent. So that's something, that has gotten way better as well.
Yeah.
Just dealing with the parents and being available. That's the biggest thing. Being available for the parents.
Yeah.
I think when the parents know you're available, they just trust you that much more with their child. Like, just available and letting the parents know, like, we're going to go hard for your child.
That's what's up, man. Well, I know it's been a dope journey. They're giving you the keys to the locker room. They're giving you the keys to the stadium. And I've seen how you've been able to rally the crowd together. I've seen how you've been able to rally the players together where they feel comfortable coming to you for a lot of stuff. Sure. I've been around when you dropped everything for them.
For real, you've really been around.
No, I've been around.
You've seen it firsthand.
For sure, when you dropped everything for them, and that's the moments they won't forget for the rest of their life, for sure. So now that you're in coaching, you're in it, like you said, you didn't plan for it exactly, but you're in it now. You played at Winston-Salem State. We played together my freshman year, your sophomore year. Same year, went to the national championship.
Yes, sir. Legendary team right there.
It was a legendary team. That was a dope experience because I got to tell the story. When I first got to Winston-Salem State, you know how they have some of the freshmen share lockers sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was sharing a locker, I forgot, with Paris or somebody like that. I think it was Paris. And when I first met you, we had them 4:30.
Y'all locker one too far down from ours, right?
We had them 4:30 practices.
Sure.
And you would come in geeked in the morning. I was like, yo, what's up with this dude? Yo, he would come in bumping Wale. Like, yo, Wale the best rapper ever. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? Like, mind you, at that point, I don't even think I had real, no DC friends.
Yeah.
So I ain't really know anyone from DC, to that point. They used to come in booming music and it's 4:30, it's 5 o'clock, stop for practice. I'm like, yo, I don't know what this is, but I don't think I'm gonna ever have this energy in the morning.
Yeah.
What was that? But you know what? That's when I first met you. And then I come to realize that's who you are. Sure. You bring in the energy, you bring in the positivity. I don't really hear you complaining about too many situations. And we just got to know each other a lot more, ended up becoming line brothers and whatnot for Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, of course. What is it about you that brings that positivity in all different spaces? Because you seem to light up a lot of rooms.
So to address the 5 o'clock in the morning practice,
Horrible.
That was learned behavior because that first year, my freshman year, I went through it. I realized you had to come prepared to want to hit somebody at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And that's where I was in my freshman year. I was going
in that freshman move.
I was in that mental phase like, yo, this is horrible, yo. I don't even know if I like football.
So I've been through that, right? So I just knew that energy you had to bring in the morning. And I had good vets, man. Shout out Pope, Gray, Sad, Justin Key, and the boys, man. I had great vets.
Yeah.
So to answer your question about why I bring the positive energy, I don't have no reason to be sad. My parents had me at 17. My father was in jail 13 years. We bounced around apartment to apartment to apartment. I had outstanding grandparents who held the family down. I was able to go to college at Winston-Salem State, play football for 3 years, play for a national championship, win 2 CIAA rings, become the vice president of the university. I was able to go to grad school in Miami for free.
That was a phase.
I was able to be the president of the grad program. I was able to become a master.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I was able to become the college and career coordinator of my side, the city.
Yeah.
Then I was able to become a head football coach.
Yeah.
All before the age of 30. I came on my own tennis shoe. All before the age of 30.
Life's been blessed.
When I wake up in the morning, bro, what I got to be mad about?
Yeah.
Like if something happens, we got to figure out, we got to adjust, but we got to go through our day because it could be worse.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, it's worse.
Yeah.
So, I've been blessed.
Yeah.
I've been blessed with favor, and that's not lost on me. So every day that I can wake up, every day that I can breathe, every day that I'm able to, impact change, every day that I'm just able to make an impact at all, we're gonna do that. That's why I wake up and I'm just so positive with it because it could be worse, bro. And I don't think people often understand it could be worse until it's worse.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. It could be worse, and when you see it, you see what worse could be. It helps you really reevaluate your situation and know that you need to come bring your best self in all moments and whatnot. So you played football at Winston 3 years, correct?
Yep.
Won 2 CIAA championships. What years were those?
2011, 2012, 2013. And even 2013, 2014, we was supposed to win, but Virginia State was hated.
Virginia State was hated.
The most player-hated move of all time, man.
Yeah, I was like, y'all didn't win 3?
We was supposed to. It was player-hating in the bathroom.
Yeah. But that was a fun time, though, man. I only played 1 year, which I'm glad, because that lifestyle. Hey,
man, I tell the kids all the time, man, it's different in college,
It's different. And I'm glad you can tell them that, like, from high school to college is a completely different beast.
I often have to be telling them, the camp schedule, bro. Like, think about our freshman, camp. We got to our first meeting 8. Like, we got to go to breakfast at 7.
Yeah, bro.
Then we got a meeting at 8:30, 9.
I feel like it was earlier than 7.
It was 8:30, 8:30, 9, and then practice from like 9:30, 10 o'clock to 11:30. Then we got to lift midday. Then we finally get a lunch. Then we got to watch film. Then we got to go to the next practice. Then we got another team meeting.
That's stressful.
That's what I'm saying. So, I be telling them, like, your days are literally from like 7 in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and like you gotta be on time.
Gotta be on time.
You gotta hit weight. Like that was something I never knew about. Like, oh, you lose water weight in practice, you gotta come back the next day with your weight back up.
Bro, I've never seen, until I got to college, I've never seen people walk around with jugs of water to try to drink a gallon in my life, bro. Like what? I am from Washington, D.C. We grew up drinking Rock Creek sodas for 99 cents and you used to drink the whole soda to yourself. A gallon of water, what is that?
I used to be drinking Sunkist before the game, dog. So I was
what I mean? Like, what's that?
It was really different when I got to college. It was such a serious thing, like, to see what it means to be a full-time athlete. Well, you're a student athlete, but a full-time, serious athlete.
And didn't cut you off, but camp is 3 weeks before school start, bro. So your first statement was right. You were a full-time athlete.
You were.
Because school's not even going on.
I ain't even experienced school yet.
We ain't experienced school yet before we experienced football. So, I just wanted to note that. You were right when you said full-time athlete.
But, those moments are the things, if you think about some people's life, they probably don't experience any type of, like, tension or adversity or times where they have to be on that schedule unless they go through these things. So, if anything, that taught me that, like, to achieve greatness, went to a national championship that year. Something about that structure led to success. Something about knowing that you gotta pick yourself up in the morning and bring that positivity leads to success. Now, I don't know if it's 4:35 in the morning, but that structure that Coach Maynard, Coach Etta, Coach Bullware, Coach Hayes, Coach
guys,
Taylor. Shout out to Coach Taylor, wide receiver coaches. He was a character. That's my guy though. Shout out to Coach Taylor.
Yeah.
All of them really bought into what Coach Maynard really was looking for, as in for the success for that year, and it really played out. And if I think about even
staff, man.
the guys, the development that was happening through the year, like football practice was always fun for me.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was always fun. But every day you felt like you was getting better too. Like you was even though there was times we laughed, joked around, you still was like putting that extra 1% in.
They
like
coached,
every time.
bro. They
coached.
did.
They were on. They were on. So your position coach is probably one of the most interesting coaches I know. Everybody that went to Winston-Salem State that might have played football also probably knows this. Coach Etta.
John Etta.
So that's your guy. He was the offensive line coach. I know you still talk to him now.
To this day.
What is Coach Etta like for you, and how has he helped you in your coaching career?
John Etta. I always looked at Coach Etta as like Yoda. You know Yoda on Star Wars?
Yeah.
Just like the wise elder, right?
Yeah.
Because there'll be times when we watch film, and like film would get kind of boring. Like we watching the same thing, whether we watching us practice or whether we watching another team scout. Like I did like 30 reps or so. You know what the D-line gonna do when you play offensive line. So Etta get bored. Yeah. So it was always a life lesson with Etta in film.
Yeah.
And then he always ended, well, get out. Like, Etta, he just gave us this great story. Oh, get out. Like, but that is my guy. It was always a life lesson with him. It's so many quotes I use from Etta to this day.
Yeah.
Etta always said, well, in theory, like you ask Etta a question, he'd be like, well, in theory, if you take a left zone step and you climb to the back and you get right there, the running back's right there for 12 yards. But that's in theory.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach Etta, well, in theory, so I'm like, all right. So my players talk to me. Hey, Coach Brown, in theory, if we do, they're like, yo, what does in theory mean? I'm like, man, shout out John Etta. And then but one of the best quotes he's ever said that I still use to this day, you can either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment and regret, right? Those are two. That's the biggest thing that ever stuck out for me when it came to Etta, right?
Say that again, what is it?
You can suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of disappointment and regret. Man, when Coach Etta said that, that was gold, and I never forgot that. Yeah. And none of his stories or wisdom was ever lost on me, man. Yeah. He was a hard nose. Like if you wasn't built for it tough, you couldn't play for Etta.
You couldn't play. I don't care if you were the most talented person ever.
You couldn't play for Etta.
If I could explain, I didn't even have a lot of interactions with him because I was like, that ain't even my arena over there.
He would get up under your skin, but he did that to make you a stronger individual. It wasn't just about a strong football player. Coach Etta did that to make you a stronger individual. If you can get through Etta, man.
Yeah, I think you can do Etta. You can get through any coach.
You can do anywhere. You can get through any coach, any boss, any CEO. Like for real, that's who Etta was. And what people didn't know about that, Etta loved his linemen, bro. Yeah. Etta went to a small black church in Winston-Salem. And mind you, I love Etta to death. So
Coach Etta is a white man. Is a white man.
Like really white, old, 60-year-old guy.
Yeah.
So he said, come to church with me. Yeah. Like I'm a little freshman. Like I ain't think we was about to go to like Dr. King used to go to that church. Like I'm like, it's the soul in this joint. Yeah. Like he made sure we were fed, but the whole team didn't go. He just took the line, and he often focused a lot on his line, and he loved his line. Yeah. So to this day, like how much Etta loved his line, I took that in and started loving my players, bro. Yeah. So you can tell you, man, I still talk to Etta to this day. If I want to get on the phone with Etta. We just talk about life for one. But two, if I need some football questions, he'll hop on Zoom. He hopped on Zoom, me and the coach before some of my coaching in the clinic does. Talked about power running. Talked about play action passes. Like he's that type of mind. Like outside of that, man, Etta is brilliant, bro. Yeah. Like brilliant. Let's throw football aside. Yeah. When it comes to life, like he studied geography, philosophy, math. He's read a lot of novels. Like Etta is brilliant.
I ain't even know him like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so when it comes to coaches, and we all have that one coach we look back like, Etta is that guy for me. I've had a lot of great coaches. Like shout out Coach Bowley. He the one recruiting me to come to Winston, and he does the same thing. Like if I need Bowley, he hops on the phone, clinics me, he sends me stuff. But I ain't spend as much time with him. Yeah. I spent with Etta, but I love Bowie though. But
Yeah.
Etta, that guy for me though.
And he coached on the offensive side.
He coached, yeah, he's my offensive line. I was
He
directly
offensive
with him
line
every
coach.
day.
Yeah, Bowie
So-
was on the defensive side, but still has been at the head coach
Yeah,
level.
yeah, for sure. So
yeah.
Bowie always give me
Yeah.
a great advice. But man, John Etta, special guy, and I often, even sometimes I try to, because Etta sometimes his blow ups were strategic. Like when he blew up on you, it was strategic to see how you was gonna react.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, when I realized that though, Etta,
Yeah.
you can't get to me no more, because I'm a thinker too. So
Yeah.
I probably realized that like my sophomore-ish year. All right, Etta, come on, coach. All right, cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play with it.
But he had to build that up, and
He had to build that up.
You
Man,
had
your
to,
freshman year, call my mother.
Oh, man.
Hey, I ain't about to play this. Nah, we done football. Like I'm about to just.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know.
Coach Etta can push you to that limit. He make you not even want to play football.
Listen.
But if you're not built for that, and you're
all
not built
in the
for
type
what
of players that he's
Yeah.
breeding, right?
Yeah.
And so I do that sometimes. I pull up on a player just to see how they gonna respond.
Yeah.
And see if they're gonna have the mental fortitude to get themselves over a hump, bro. Because it ain't just about, I know this ain't just about football, it's about life. Even, you know, like probably 2 years ago we was talking and I just called him. I think I just started ranting about football.
Yeah.
And it was like, Kenny Brown. That's how y'all say it. Kenny Brown. You know, men, we call each other. We gotta ask each other about our families and stuff like that, too. I'm like, dang, I know that, but I be forgetting like every time. You know, sometimes we get caught up in what we need, and we jump right into it. So, you know, I often make sure when I talk to people, I ask them how people are doing before we get into the, you know, the gut of the conversation. So, man, shout out John Etta, man. You helped change my life, Coach Etta.
Coach Etta, that guy, man. We're gonna take. So one thing I know about being a head coach is in the game, it's about adjustments. It's a game, it's about decisions. What's one of the biggest decisions you think you've had to make, or like on the spot impromptu decisions you've had to make to turn a game around since you've been coaching?
I'm gonna tell you about a call that could have turned the game around, but I'm gonna tell you my thought process on it. So this past season we was playing Theodore Roosevelt, Northwest DC. This year they did where they eventually the Turkey Bowl champs, but prior to it they was, you know, they won the city title last year, right? So we were playing the defending champs. We had them on the ropes. They scored 12. They scored like a fluff 12 to me. They got a fumble return. They got an interception return. We changed quarterbacks. A freshman quarterback went down the field and scored. 12-7. We got defending champs on the ropes. It's our ball. I think the defense got a big stop. We get the ball back with, I want to say, a minute left before half. We get the ball on like the 40, 30 going in. With 30 going out. 30 going out. So we get the ball on. We get the ball on outside of the 30.
You got to drive.
Yeah, we got to drive. We got to drive 70 yards.
Yeah.
We're on the outside of the 30, right? So my receiver, John Thompson, he's having a game. You met JT. Yeah, shout out Prime. Having a game. They can't hold him.
Yeah.
So they're literally holding him.
Yeah.
He gets 2 back-to-back PI calls.
In high school, what's that?
15 yards.
15?
It's about 15 yards.
Yeah.
So he gets 2 back-to-back. Cool. So now we up to about the 50. JT also catches a pass run for 10 yards. You know, so, you know, we move and we drive, we run the ball. It wasn't successful. So it's like 40 seconds left. Mind you, I got 2 timeouts in the pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3, but I know for sure 2. And my coach, shout out my guy Ace, master in the booth. He like, KB, we got 2 timeouts. We got 2 timeouts. Know that.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm thinking I got a freshman quarterback. We have the defending champs on the ropes. Both of their touchdowns were from turnovers.
Yeah. So they really haven't just scored on you yet.
So both of their touchdowns are from turnovers.
Yeah.
Even if we go to the half down 12-7, we still have momentum to build on going into the next half because we get the ball back.
Yeah.
We get the ball first.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, if we score, we cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to play where it's like I'm forcing and I'm pressuring my freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm not calling timeout. So in my head, I'm trying to let the clock dwindle down to kind of survive out the half, right? That's the bell.
That's how we know we in school.
We in school for real,
Yeah.
right? So I'm trying to survive.
Yeah.
And, you know, I talked to my coach out again because, like, bro, you had 3 timeouts. So, because in hindsight, we got the quarterback do a heck of a pass, 30 yards downfield to Lorenzo Martin. And he makes a play. The guy misses the first tackle. I'm thinking Zoe about to do what Zoe do. Just score. But he, you know, he falls on like the 10-yard line and time expired. I wish I had like 1 second left. I called timeout, right? But time expired. So now it's a what could have been situation like,
Yeah.
oh, if we would have used the 2 timeouts earlier, we would have had time to do that, right? But in my head, again, we're playing defending champs. We're down 12-7. We get the ball after half. If, both of their touchdowns.
You had a timeout left?
2 timeouts.
Oh, you had 2?
So I went with 2.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's my thought process, though. Like I'm saying, with 12-7, if we go to the half down 12-7, we still hungry because we know we could play with them. I got a speech I'm a heck of a motivator, right? So we got a speech I could prepare to go in his locker and get us fired up to go out there and score.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at going at 12-7. What I don't want to do So, 10 seconds left. Well, yeah, Lorenzo Mon did what Lorenzo Mon does, and 10 seconds left, I thought he was going to make one more guy miss. Mm-hmm. And I thought he's just going to miraculously score, and that's the game we're going to have, the Cinderella game to turn the season around, right? But he got tackled, and then we ran out of time. So 1 more second left out of call, one of the timeouts. But, at half, I explained to the coaches my concerns. I'd rather go and have down 12-7 and then us making a mistake and go down 18-7 because we got the ball back after half. So that was like a big learning thing as a coach. How I could have played it different, right? Even though I feel like I called it the right way.
Yeah.
I've also could have burned one a little earlier, and we probably had like 10 more seconds to spare. So it is what it is. But that's my first this my first lit head coaching moment where I really got to make this big decision whether to do. Because, my first year, we took our losses for sure. Yeah. So I ain't have to make too many close calls. But this past year, had to make a lot of close calls. But that's the most memorable one to me.
Well, did your coaches disagree with you in any of those moments?
For sure.
Moments, yeah.
But I like my coaches. I don't have yes men.
Yeah.
Like I don't need that around me.
Don't need yes men.
Definitely being a young coach, right? Definitely being a young head coach. I don't have yes men around me. Yeah. And like I told you, my guy Ace that be in the booth, like we really talk football. So he was the first one, like KB, like he should have called them timeouts. But when I told him my thought process, he was like, I understand that. Yeah. So we talk it out. But I really appreciate I don't have yes men. If my coaches don't agree with something, they'll let me know. Yeah. Typically ain't even disrespectful. Like, they respect that I'm the head guy. Yeah. So it's not disrespectful. It's like I told you, we built a friendship. We built a bond of men and family. So, like, we speak on it, right? Yeah. So they just asked me about it, and we talked, and we moved on.
That's an important piece, because sometimes assistants don't know how to check the head coach or give the head coach feedback, and then the coach is doing his own thing, and really they seeing stuff that the coach not seeing. So I'm glad that you got guys around you that are willing to, like, give you advice, give you insight on what you maybe not seeing. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're still a young coach. Sure. I mean, I can't imagine 10 years from now, like, what you gonna know. You're gonna be looking back like, yo, I can't even believe I was looking at
that. I did that my first year.
Yeah. Like, you might be talking about that play you just told me about, and that decision, like, nah, I could have probably just did this, and this, and it might would have turned out differently. So that's definitely dope to hear how your thought process works around it and whatnot. So you talked about Etta being such a impactful person in your life, in your coaching career, but life mainly. How do you feel as though you've made that potential impact on any of your players? Do you think you got I think yours probably comes off different, because you're not intense like Etta. Etta is on another level.
You didn't see the football side of me, man. Some of my players might be different sometimes.
I see you intense.
Yeah, but it ain't Etta the GOAT, man. I don't use that word. I ain't like these new age people that really use that word loosely. Yeah. If I use it, you really that.
Yeah, so, like, thinking about how intense he was, but also a master at what he does, but also very compassionate in who he was for his line. How do you think you've made an impact on, like, your players, so where they can be able to take what they've learned from Coach Brown, Coach KB, the same way that Etta gave you?
Like I said, it's never lost to me that I'm a young head coach and I'm a leader of men. And I just love my players. I really love them. Me and my quarterback, Zion, we just got back. I'm my first starting quarterback, bro. Me and Zion went through it. Anybody that know me and Zion know me and Zion battled big brother, little brother, father, son. Yeah. Quarterback, head coach. Yeah. We battled. Yeah.
I heard some Zion stories.
We heard some Zion. So everybody has Zion stories, right? But we loved each other. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one thing I can say. Zion loved me. Yeah. Like, one time we lost a game year 1, and the locker room was through. Yeah. The janitor, I love her, the custodian, Miss Fergie. She's like a Ballou staple. Everybody loves her. She called me, Brown, come look at this locker room. So I pulled up, called Zai. I said, man, come pick me up. Man, me and Zion cleaned that joint together.
I seen that locker room.
Yeah, me and Zion.
You showed it to me.
Right, me and Zion cleaned that joint together on a Saturday morning. Yeah. So, it was just love, though. So love carries you a long way. Yeah. So I think the impact won't show maybe immediately, but looking back, we'll be able to judge. I've hoped I've made the impact, like especially with guys like, you met JT, Khalil, met Khalil. Them guys, I've had them guys since they middle school, basically. Like, they was my first recruits to Ballou. So, I can't wait to see at the end of their senior year, when they on their signing day and just think about, like, dang, all we've been through with one another. And my only hope is to make sure I've made an impact off the field. And that's what I try to do. Like, I don't try to make it about football all the time. Like, we talk about life. Like I said, we talk about college. We talk about adulthood. I done taught some of them how to construct a date. Like, come on, y'all, we ain't doing them little cheap dates no more. Y'all got a couple of hours in y'all pocket, right? So, just, I call it hot dates, right? So they're like, man, Brown, I went on a hot date, Brown. Just stuff like that, and I just smile about, or, just seeing them grow as better men. So I hope I made that impact. I got this one kid, though, it was crazy. Ronald Carter, my youngin'. Crazy as all get out. Ronald is the epitome of a class clown. That is Ronald. Smart as a whip, the epitome of a class clown. When Ronald ready to turn something up, he gonna turn it up, right? That's who he is. But he called me, Zion called me. Him and Zion, they real close. Zion called me like, man, Brian, we was just chilling in my house. And Ronald, you know what Ronald said? I said, what? Ronald said, man, Brian he even said, save my life or change my life. I can't remember the word, but he said, save my life or change my life. And Zion said, man, I was sitting here when he said it. First we laughed and we thought it was the bid. Ronald was like, I'm serious. And Zion said, nah, kill, like, Brown did save or change. Whatever word they said, save or change, but I'm like, wow. Like, that's the first time I heard it as a head coach. I'm like, oh, it's really like, it's not for nothing. And I never really thought it was for nothing. Like, I knew I had a passion, a purpose with it, but just hearing that, I'm like, all right, they really feeling it outside football. So knowing they feeling it outside football, that matters to me. Making sure that they know I love them at the end of the day matters. Yeah, man, we can go 0-100, bro. But if they become good men in this joint, can't nobody say nothing to me. Because I done seen it before. I done seen winning programs. Winning programs not had no real products in adulthood. We know that. You seen it, I seen it. Winning character keeps you a long way.
Character keeps you integrity, respect, all those things. And you see, we've seen a lot of people not have those things.
Oh, we remember we been some of our teammates. Never forget, like I tell my players, some of my teammates called me 2-3 years after we was all done playing. They was like, man, some of them call me Gucci. It's the bid, but it's the bid. They were like, man, you were focused. Like, we used to laugh at the SGA joint you was doing while you played football. But bro, you knew you knew what you wanted to do. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do, and I'm happy some of them recover. But that's what I just try to tell my players. I have a plan, and so I'm always transparent about what's going on with me, what I did, what's my success, with my failures. And as a coach, do I say or do everything right? Probably not. But we human, right?
For sure.
Every move I make is probably not gonna be right.
And you can stand on your wrongs, you can stand on your rights.
Everyone. But at the end of the day, though, they know I love them. And they know at the end of the day, I put it all on the line to make sure they have the best experiences, to make sure they afforded the best experiences, to make sure they have every opportunity. Like, we didn't been everywhere. I took some of them to hockey games. You done been with me. Redskin games.
Commanders.
Excuse me.
Been to the Commanders
games. We got a ball in Under Armour.
Like,
in the suite too.
If I'm being real, you've taken your players to places that the average person don't even get exposure to. From Commanders games, the Under Armour is like specific activations and events. They getting like training from like one-on-one, like coaches and guys you play with, the route surgeon. I'm seeing them do like the win your ones. And they're doing a lot of like things that you just get exposure to that can change your life.
Rodney Thomas, he's one of the big dogs at QC Sports. He's an agent. He came and spoke to them and let them know the grind it takes to get to the draft. Jeannie Wilson, she's a woman. She's the assistant coach at Howard. She came and spoke with them. Malik, he's the CEO of Eat, the clothing brand. He came and spoke. A couple league guys came and spoke to them. So, bro, I just try to exhaust my resources to make sure they not left behind. Because I know I wanted that. So at the end of the day, to basically center back your question, bro, I just love them and do everything I know I could do for them in hopes that one day they're going to be like, you know what? Brown's that guy for me. How I look at Etta or how I look at Bowie, I want them to say, you know what? Like, Brown loved me, and they know that.
My motto for this podcast is visibility builds credibility. I feel like one of the biggest things you've done is be visible, be it their form, the availability, the time, You stay on the phone all day, dog.
You know, I stay
you stay on the phone. FaceTime or phone.
Tia said that too. Tia was like, Kitty, you talk loud on the phone. I was like,
Yeah,
I think I stay at the child.
You stay on the phone, dog. And that's most of the time it's parents, it's coaches, it's players, it's administrators here at Ballou. Because you got a day job. Like we talking about all this. You still got a day job. But you make time and availability for all of that. And I think that's the visibility where people can know they can go to Kenny for like whatever they need. They know that visibility builds that credibility for your character. And hopefully it transitions to your players in a lot of other settings. Because football is going to end. But we need them to know that they need to show up to work. They need to show up for their girl. They need to show up for their family. They need to show up for the people around them. And these acts of discipline and love is going to help them, do that in reciprocity. So this is dope, man. Yeah. So we good right there?
You want to talk about the college career before we get out? We ain't got to talk about the field. I feel like it ain't a field thing.
It ain't a field thing.
Yeah.
Bet. So
because you already kind of mentioned it, so we can segue into
that is true. So like I said, you heavy into being a head coach.
Sure.
But you can't be a head coach without most likely having a spot at I know in North Carolina, you got to work at the school.
Pretty much the same way.
Same way.
Like a little bit,
same way here.
Yeah.
So you the college career coordinator here.
I was that before I was the head coach.
Yeah, you was that before the head coach. You got your master's in higher ed, so more than qualified to be in this role. You've done a lot of leadership roles in college. Most of the time, you don't see a lot of head coaches with that specific
type
background.
roles, for sure.
Or that background where they really, hey, you get a scholarship for football or not. I'm trying to get you
I
into
tell the
college.
parents that, I tell the kids that, bro, like, I understand if you don't want to play sports in college. That is a full-time job you might not want to have yet. So my job, I'll be trying to get them scholarships. They just got to do their part.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was the college career coordinator before I was the head football coach. So before I was Coach Brown, Coach KB, I was Brown, the college career coordinator. I remember one time a parent called me like, you the college man, right?
Yeah.
So, just making sure kids go to job, go get careers, get a job or go to their careers, or go to college with as much scholarship money as possible. And my first year being at 2018 to 2019, that graduation class 2019, they're gonna be forever deep here.
Yeah.
It was a lot of transition around that time. New principal at Ballou, just new staff, and a lot of the staff they were used to, who's been with them for 3 years, weren't working here no more. And I was 24 when I first started working here, right?
Was pretty young,
29 now, so I'm 24. And so I'm like the uncle that just came back from college.
Right.
That's in the house with you all now.
Yeah.
And mom's at work, or mom's not here, and pop's not here, or pop's at work, and grandma's somewhere. You just with your uncle.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like, bro. And they embraced me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the class of 2019, I probably wouldn't be the head football coach now, bro.
That was your foundation.
That was my foundation class. And it's not just because what I've done for them.
Yeah.
It's what the class of 2019 did for me.
Yeah.
They showed me how to be a professional. They showed me what it meant to love students. They showed me to show up for them, right? So of course they used to call me all hours of the night, like, Brown, I need to do this, Brown, I need to do this. But I'm doing it because they're so eager, right?
Yeah.
So I even tell the students now, everybody compares my love to the 2019 to any other class, but I tell 2019 worked.
Yeah.
Like they made me do my job. And they often tell you, like, they come to my office, oh, Brown, you working today.
I
I'm not taking
remember
it.
that. I remember
for
that
sure.
year. They'd be like, Brown, I'm trying to go to Lincoln. Brown, I'm trying to go to Fayetteville State. Brown, I'm just trying to get this job in the city. And you like, yo, all right, I got you.
Yeah, like, Brown, come on, you got to be a job. Like, I be on the phone. Brown, no, you're at work, Brown. You know what I mean? So they made me do my job.
So how you like the facilities, man?
Dog, it's A1, man. I ain't had no training room in high school, so my kid's able to have a training room.
Yeah.
Got an outstanding trainer, Miss Porter. She, does a lot. She's great, perfect with the kids.
Yeah.
So, man, it's blessed, bro.
Hey, man, y'all got the bees on the back of it.
Yeah, man.
It's official tissue.
We're like a little JUCO, man.
Yeah, for real. I mean, this joint, it look better than a lot of JUCO,
yeah, for real. Like, D3's nice, too.
So, you definitely got good facilities.
Yeah.
You got to keep up with it. Yeah, you are CEO. You're a real CEO. You got coaches. I
meet with the trainer once a week. Really like college. I meet with the trainer once a week. Really twice. Like that Monday after a game on Friday, and then that Thursday before the game on Friday. Like twice. I meet with her like twice a week.
Yeah. You Coach Prime.
Coach KB, baby. Coach KB.
But I mean, he inspiring too. I mean,
Oh no, for sure. I love Prime.
You know what I love about Prime though?
Love Coach Prime.
Prime uses his facilities.
Sure,
it ain't like he just like in there to be the coach. He uses every part of his facility.
Nah, for sure. Like we was in the weight room. I work out in the weight room.
Yeah.
Come in here, I weigh myself. If I need some heat, I get some. I get a heating pad.
Yeah.
I ain't never do the ice baths. I ain't even do that in college. So I ain't.
Ice bath over
there? I ain't about to start that now.
Yeah,
I ain't starting that now, bro.
Over.
But I use them. I utilize it. Like I said, it's for the great, like incredible. So, we got everything we need here to be, brother.
Yeah, for real. It's a good vibe. I mean, y'all really got almost every piece of equipment that you would need.
Yeah, everything for rehab, everything to strengthen any type muscle or ligament or joint.
Yeah.
Everything to restore an athlete. We got it, bro.
Yeah, and the guys probably appreciate it too.
For sure. They know training room before practice, training room after practice.
I'll be in here kicking it. Like I close the door, kick it if you need to chill. You got offices, you got a lot of other stuff too, but it's definitely a good little
they get stem treatment and everything, though.
Stem treatment?
Yeah. It's lit. They get
Ballou
stem treatment.
Going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for real.
Stem treatment and everything, bro.
That's what's good, man. That's what's good. Man, I'm glad to be in the mix, though. I'm glad to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, dog, you had to be, man. You behind the scenes, at the B. Yes, sir.
The heart of Southeast.
The heart of the South, man.
Already. So we on the field. We at the 50.
We at the B.
I see the big B's in the middle.
On the B.
Beautiful turf field. I mean, a lot of high school was still grass. I mean, y'all are all the way updated out here, man. This is a blessing to see. And you out here every day. With the guys, right?
What you did, man? How you been
lying? I would've went crazy out here. I would've went crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't the biggest fan of turf, but it's also because I never had turf. So you gotta get out here with it. You know what I'm saying? But this is tough, man. What y'all practice on this field too?
Practice, yeah. We practice, we play.
Cause you ain't gotta do a lot of extra with.
Yeah, well, we got a practice field up top too. We do have a practice field up top.
Oh, you do? Oh, y'all do?
Yeah, we got 2 fields.
Yeah.
But we practice mainly down here in the bay.
Yeah.
Walking up there and walking down there every now and then.
Beautiful facility.
Yeah.
And look at the way the sun come out over top of it.
Yes, sir.
You can look out from the, we did our original interview at the weight room. You can look out onto the field. So even if you in the weight room and you like, what the game gonna look like, what you out here, grinding for, what you out here.
That's like our pregame, right? So, say if it's a home game, we'd be out here. Everybody get a chance to just run around out here, right?
Yeah.
Run around first. I even come run around. But, we got quarterback specialists, then we got skills, then line. But, I'm typically out here a little warming up when the quarterbacks and specialists come out. I do my little pregame jog.
Yeah.
I get, I kick step a little bit. He still got it. I get my kick step in, walk and talk with my quarterback. And then, they'll come out here in just pants and just a shirt.
Yeah.
No jersey yet. No shoulder pads. So they'll come in there, But then, after stretching, we'll send everybody back in there. They'll get dressed. By that time, I got whatever I'm wearing on the game. Like, I'm dressed.
Yeah.
Too, because I'll go and I'll get dressed. And we'll be in the weight room pregame. And that's intentional. Well, that was kind of the way I learned when I was an assistant. But it's also intentional because, like you said, I want everybody to see. I want you to feel the game before we get out there. You look at this B. You look at the away crowd. You look at the home crowd. There ain't nothing like that home crowd after halftime, bro. After halftime, sometimes it be slow first quarter. But you'll look back like second quarter, halftime, be like, whoa. When it get like deep. This, in fourth quarter, it just get you that Southeast spirit. So, man, we blessed, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, man. And the guys they can put on a show. An amazing field, amazing stadium. Like I said, the facilities are amazing. You got any pregame rituals that the team does, or in particular?
I said, so we'll be in a weight room pregame. We'll be in the weight room right before the game, probably with 12 minutes left before the game start. We'll be in the weight room. I'll be giving a pregame speech. We'll play a song or whatever. But we'll leave out the weight room door, and we always walk down the steps together.
Yeah.
And then we've added the theatrics. We got the smoke. We got the.
I've seen the smoke.
We got the smoke. We got the tunnel. We run out we run under. So
a couple Ray Lewis impressions.
Yeah, we got a little impressions here and there.
Yeah.
That's our little pregame. But as long as we walk down the steps, and the thing about walking down the steps, because people still in line. So we walking past family, friends, school administration, whatever.
Yeah.
And we feel that. We just want to get the spirit before the games.
Yeah.
So that's it. My only pregame ritual myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I come out, I my own music playing in my earpods. I get my little kick step on, but I also walk with my quarterback.
True.
Me and Zion, countless walks. prior to the game, just making sure their head on straight. Like we'd probably walk from the 30 to the end zone, and we'd talk, kind of walk back to the 10, dap up, hug, let's get it, and leave. That's like a ritual I do with my quarterback, and then I go get dressed. So that's like my only pregame ritual for the most part.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I can imagine this thing be booming during the season.
Yes, sir.
We definitely looking forward. I'm looking forward to trying to make it when we get to the Turkey Bowl, because we're going to manifest it. We're going to already call it out there.
Amen.
You've been talking to me about this Turkey Bowl for the past few years, so
yes,
I definitely think it's a goal to be shooting for. Would love to see if we could, where they host the Turkey Bowl, because it'd be dope if they could host it here.
Now we would, but they try to do it at a prime location because, you bringing the city together, something that can house everybody. We got a beautiful stadium, but the most people probably can house like 2,000 people maybe.
Got you.
But Turkey Bowl can host over 5,000-6,000.
Oh, okay.
And they got that at Eastern High School, so it's an Eastern area. It's been Eastern probably for the last.
All we need now is we need to get Wallow. We need to get Gilly out here.
I got Cal. I don't need Wallow Gilly. I got Cal.
That's facts, though. That's facts. The KBP is here. It's my honor. This is nothing but an honor for me to be able to be here to see where you've been able to take this thing from teammates to classmates to leaders in life together, and now you being the head coach is nothing but a blessing to be able to see these things coming to fruition, for you to be a leader of men. And I love the fact that, we got to be, we always been big reppers of our names, of our last names, both last name Brown. So now your first coaching job, you get to rep the B. So it fits in line. It fits in line,
yeah. So look how far we came, dog. We came far away from Brown Hall, man.
Hey, I stayed in Rams.
I know you little.
I stayed in Rams. Yeah, I was in the mirror. Long way from Bowman Gray. Long way from Bowman Gray. Yeah. And now you got your own, man. Frank Ballou High School, home of the Knights, right here in the heart of Southeast, man. I'm here with Coach Brown, one of the biggest, youngest, motivating coaches here in Southeast DC. And we definitely gonna keep taking it to the next level, man. It's my brother. It's all love. Peace. Thank you for being on the Kyle Brown podcast.
My G.
Already. Yeah.